wanted, usually when I come, because I've come several times, I usually talk about nutrition and exercise and those kind of things, because that's kind of my background, my specialty. One thing I wanted to do today, because I remember a couple times last time or when we were here, and when I talk to either my patients or my clients, these are some of the things that I ask them, and I'll tell you that I'm kind of harsh with them on certain things, and even when I teach nutrition at TCC and I ask my students the same thing, I kind of ask and kind of get the same feedback. So I wanted to do 6 excuses. So we all have excuses of why we can't do our workouts, our nutrition, or it can be even like your Bible study, all of those things. And you can kind of put it into anything that you're doing. So I kind of put it into wellness, and I say kind of wellness because I feel like nutrition, exercise, and sleep, you have to do all of those. You have to be well-rounded. You just can't do exercise and then have a really bad diet, because we know the saying, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And I will say with all of our ages, because we're kind of, in the same realm of age, now it becomes really, really important that we do all 3 of those to see everything or to see benefits, okay? So when we look at, what do you think the first excuse is for people with their diet, their exercise?
I'm too busy.
Yes, I don't have enough time.
Thyroid problems.
And most of the time when people say, I don't have enough time, especially with my students and, and even some patients and clients, the first thing I will say is, let me have your phone. Mm-hmm. I want to see how much you're scrolling, how much time, because your phone keeps track of how much time it is on. So you will get a weekly report. I get one on Sunday that says, you've spent 3 hours a day on your phone. You spent 4 hours. And I've had some people that spend 7 hours a day on their phone. And I'm like, you have 7 hours that you've been just on your phone. You could have worked out 3 times. You could have meal prepped. You could have taken a nap. You could have done laundry. So a lot of that is, and I will say too, and this is what I tell, a lot of people, you're not special, okay? No one here is special. We're all busy. We all have kids. We all have jobs. We all have grandkids. We all, have pets. We all have priorities. You have to choose your health as a priority. And it's not being selfish by any means. Mm-hmm. It's self-care. And I will tell you, and I know Jamie feels, we've talked about this too, and my husband knows, if I don't work out, it's not a happy home. It's just really not.
It's not good for other people.
Yeah, it's not good for other people to be around. And when we travel, he makes sure that there's a gym. Or I bring weights or whatever it is, because that is one of my priorities, and he knows that. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of one of that. So it says, that's kind of the most common excuse. And almost honest, because we all think we're too busy. We all honestly are like, I have this. But like I always say, when my kids were little and all of their activities switched to be at night, I had to figure out, okay, when am I going to get my workout in? I had to make a sacrifice and say, I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, work out at 4:30 before I go to work so I can get it done. And I always say, when people say, when should I work out? Meet first thing in the morning, before you get too busy. Because by the day goes, we get tired, or it's like, oh, I'm not going to have time, or I need to do this laundry, or kids forget stuff, or, whatever it is. Dog gets sick, cat gets sick, you have to take care of that. Do it in the morning, because I always say, no one's calling me at 4:30 in the morning. Everybody, when the kids were home, everybody was sleeping. Nobody at work needed me because they were still sleeping. So it was my time, my peaceful time that I got that done. So, if you need to look at your schedule, and, I'm not going to say it was easy getting up at 4 o'clock at the very beginning, starting it, but then that was my routine. When I could quit doing that, I still woke up at 4 o'clock and I was like, I don't have to do this, go back to sleep, I can sleep till 5 or whatever. So I want you to reframe kind of your thought process. If I don't have time, it's like, and you don't have to do a whole 2 hours in the morning or an hour. You could do 15 minutes, in the morning if that's what you had. Maybe at lunch, after you eat lunch, you go for a walk, and then after dinner, you go for a walk, and you get those 10-minute increments. That's better than nothing, okay? I would rather you do that. And I want you guys to think about too, because we will talk about, I don't know if you guys saw, we have a new food pyramid.
Yeah.
So excited. And it is in the right direction. There are some things that are still a little iffy, but it's so much better than, they had the plate, my plate, and it was kind of, you had to guess. And so they're very, very specific with protein amounts and things like that. And us ladies, we need to really focus on protein. So getting your protein in, prepping your meals, those kind of things. And those things where we say, I don't have time to do that, you have to set time. Like I always say, on Sundays, that's when we batch cook all of our chicken or whatever we're eating, and then I prep my meals or whatever it is for the week or the first couple of days. Maybe you have to batch cook on Wednesdays, and that's perfectly fine. Look at your schedule and make those plans, okay? So what is one small habit you could fit into 5 or 10 minutes a day? What is one good habit? And that's what, and I was telling Terry, I started teaching a water aerobics class, and probably everyone is probably 70 or older, and I do have a lady that's like 93 years old in the class. And that's one thing I tell them, because I just started teaching, and street training for us as ladies is so, so important. I would rather you street train than take a walk. So I'd rather you do weights or whatever. But one thing I always encourage them, or I've tested them, I want them to start brushing their teeth on one leg, because we got to work on balance, and that works on your core. Or I tell them, I want you to do push-ups, and they're like, I can't do push-ups. And I was like, everybody can do push-ups. You can start by going to the wall and doing push-ups, because I always look at it as everybody better be able to get off the ground.
Or the toilet.
Yeah. And so if you get down on the ground, how are you going to get up? If you have no upper body strength, you have no core strength, you got to start thinking about that. Okay. And that's what I always say when I have people do. I was like, when I was at the hospital, and I would make our what do we call it, silver sneakers, do burpees. And they were like, I can't do a burpee. And I was like, a burpee is just you getting off the ground. You don't have to jump. You can bend your legs, get up, but a burpee actually is you getting off the ground, and you better be able to do that, okay? So what is one small habit you could fit into your 5 to 10 minute a day? So I'm just asking for 5 or 10 minutes. What is one good habit? Does everybody drink water? I know we're all drinking coffee. I drink coffee like it's water.
I don't drink enough water.
Drink
I
more
get
water?
kidney stones because of it.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, is we should be doing half our body weight in ounces. And so I know of some people like, oh my gosh, that's so much, but baby step it. Try and drink, and if you look at it, 8 ounces is just a cup. So I mean, we could, shoot a cup. I mean, that would be pretty easy. But try, and I always tell people, like, if you have the bottled waters, set 8 of those out on the cabinet. So by the end of the day, you have to have all of those gone.
Did you say 8?
Yeah.
I'm ready to drink
Does
some
coffee
water.
not count? It's me.
Well, it's okay,
very
but coffee's a
dehydrated.
diuretic, so it's going to dehydrate you. So you need to be drinking
I have
coffee.
so many different medical issues with the stomach and the spine and the feet and all that. So I went to the doctor, had a blood test. The sodium level was too low. I was told, eat more salt, drink less water.
Well, one thing you can do instead of doing that, you can add electrolytes.
It was so weird.
You
And I
can
thought,
add
drink less
electrolytes.
water.
Well, one thing too is if you don't have enough sodium, a lot of times water's flushing that out. And so,
Okay.
but if you add electrolytes, you're getting the sodium, potassium, magnesium, along with
I
your
do all the
water.
vitamins, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Well-
I do have a question on the water, because I feel like it goes right through me,
Mhm.
so.
Well, one
I-
thing is your body will get adjusted.
Okay.
And that's one thing too, a lot of people are like, if I drink tons of water, your body starts getting
I don't have time to
adjusted
go to the
to
bathroom
having-
all
Well,
day.
well,
Yeah, and that's why a lot of
Yes.
people are like, I don't wanna do that.
Well,
Well,
the thing is, if I may, I had heart surgery as well, and so now I take 2 furosemides. I take 2 tablets a day, so I urinate. I take 1 tablet a day, so I don't urinate. Yes. The one that I don't is the Gemtesa, which works on the bladder, so you're not just going all the time with these
Yeah.
2 pills that makes you go. So,
Crazy.
yeah,
I
it's
read a
just
crazy
silly.
thing about, is it Celtic salt or Celtic salt? Like putting that in your water helps you absorb it better. Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of your, if you do some of their electrolytes, like our faster way, electrolytes
Mhm.
has the Celtic salt in it.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
it is
so,
true.
but if you do like the elements, that's a good one too.
Okay.
But I mean, I like them just because I work out and I sweat a whole lot, so that helps replenish. But you could add some different things, just add a little bit of salt into your water too to get electrolytes.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't even know what electrolyte is.
Well,
Yeah.
your electrolytes are your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium,
Chloride.
and what?
Chloride.
Chloride,
Okay.
yes. And so those are things that you flush out, and those are things like, especially if you go to the hospital most of the time, and like if something goes wrong, they're gonna check your electrolytes first, and usually those bags that they hang up are full of electrolytes.
Okay.
Because if you don't have potassium, that's what happened when Mike had his seizure. He had no potassium.
I take
Magnesium
potassium
too.
pill
Yeah.
about that
So,
big
yeah.
every day, yeah.
So where would you buy water that has electrolytes? I mean,
Well, you
there's
usually
even-
have to add them.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just buy
Because
the
what we
electrolyte
had-
packets.
We
Yeah.
had at work these wonderful water machines that provides flavor,
Oh.
and you could have the bubbly if you want it, but it also has electrolytes, B12 or some
Yeah.
Yeah.
zinc vitamins that you
Yeah.
can put in your water.
Mhm.
It's like, where can I get water like this?
Well, it'd probably be expensive to buy it already made that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about
Yeah.
buying special water is
Yeah.
that I'm
And
spending.
most of the time, you don't need special water. I mean, you just need to drink water.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
drinking more water,
Good.
but it's just not, I don't think enough. But
Yeah, yeah.
I watch
And I can
the
honestly,
skin.
watching your skin, and that's me too. I mean, I would rather, well, like in the winter, I guess we're not really having winter at this point, but in
I know,
winter.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, in the winter, I will just go in my Keurig and just do hot water. Just because I'm usually cold all the time, and so I'll have this and it'll just be water, not
Yeah.
coffee. Just to get my water in. And even on I have my big tumbler out in the car, and it usually doesn't have ice in it, just because I can drink it faster, because if it's cold, I can't drink it. So, I mean, but however you can, and baby step it. I'm not saying everybody needs to drink 4 of these by tomorrow. Baby step it to get up there. Because one thing too, if you're drinking a lot of water and you're trying to lose weight or, whatever, that's gonna fill in the gap. It's gonna make you feel fuller, so it's gonna help. So-
100, like 8 of this was like 120 ounces a day of water.
What is?
Like 8 bottles of this is 128 ounces. That's a lot of water.
Well, those are 16, so.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
8.
Yeah,
that's-
well, some of them you don't need 8 of those. That's why I
Yeah.
said you take half your weight in ounces, and that's what you should be drinking.
Okay.
So if you're 150, you need to do 75 ounces and stuff. I try and do at least, I
So
don't know if
definitely
that's-
lose weight so we don't have to drink
I
so
don't
much
know
water.
if these are 40 ounces, but mine's 40, and I try and do 3 of those. Yeah, and I try and do 3 of those.
She figured
Well,
it out
and
for
one
me. I
thing
don't have to
too-
do it.
And one thing
She
you
did my
have-
weight.
you have to look at too is your activity level. My activity level is probably completely different than your activity level. So that's why I
That's
drink,
what I'm sitting here thinking.
I drink more water because of that.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so it's also, but that's why I do, like, I try and do 120 ounces. I don't weigh whatever that is, 240 pounds. but my activity's a little bit different, so I'm
How much
sweating.
more do you
Her
drink with the
activity is a
activity?
lot different.
My activity is
That's what
very
she
high,
does.
because I'm never
Exercises,
sitting
Yeah,
hardly.
that's what she
So what
Well,
do
I don't look as like you, like standing and like doing stuff, because you're not sweating.
Well, I work out a lot, so if
How
you
much-
would, well, for sure 3 days a week,
Mhm.
I do kickboxing. I do sparring, so that can take my heart rate pretty high.
So we should never make you mad.
That's right. Honestly, yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
Well, she's pretty patient.
I really am very. I have a high threshold.
But one thing too, is I always look at, it's like how much you're sweating and stuff. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I try and drink, and I usually, I mean, I try and run 3 to 4 miles and then do my strength training. And I try and do a 40 ounce. That's my goal, is to drink 40 ounce in my workout.
Okay.
Can you tell me what is street training?
It's weightlifting. So you're
Oh.
lifting weights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the
She was
new-
saying
new
street.
language for weightlifting.
Yeah.
I thought she was saying street.
So did
I thought you said
Yeah.
street too, but I
Yeah.
was just gonna go with it.
I'm
I was
sorry.
like, she
Street.
might be working out in the street. I don't know.
I was like, pick a fight.
It sounded like
Pick a fight with somebody.
Like, that's a street training.
Some days.
Street training, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have one more question.
Oh, sure.
You're talking about sweating, because like I walk for an hour in the morning when I'm praying, but I don't sweat.
That's okay, and that's okay. Everybody's gonna be, and that does not determine how hard you're working out.
So I don't
Sweating
have to
does,
sweat.
no, sweating does not, I always look at your heart rate. That's
Yeah.
what you wanna focus on.
Okay.
Because sweating, I mean, sweat like my dad, which, I mean, I'll eat Mexican food and just start sweating or whatever. I sweat a lot. I mean, it's gross. But other people may be doing the same exact workout, just heart rate's just where they're at. I mean, same heart rate, but they don't. They don't sweat as much. So that's never, I don't want you guys to go, oh my gosh, that person's sweating, they must be working out 10 times harder than I. That's not a determinant on how hard you're working. The only way that you're gonna know how hard you're working is by your heart rate. And that's what we want to look at. So, no, that doesn't determine that you're not working harder.
How
or-
much do you want
Well,
to
just whatever I
increase your
need.
heart rate?
Your heart rate's gonna be based on your age. And we can figure out your heart rates. An easy way is 220 minus your age. That's gonna be your maximal heart rate. And then we can basically, because most of the time we wanna be in that 70-80% range. So you can take your max times 70%, and if you have an Apple Watch or whatever, and I always have my little green man on my home screen, because I always click on him and do my workout, so I can just gradually kind of look down and kind of see where I'm at and make sure that I'm in the range that I want. And we can look at that afterwards and stuff too. Okay, the second one is for your excuses and wellness reframes is I don't have the ability, okay? A lot of people, when I talk to them, I'm like, because I work a lot with seniors, they'll say, well, I don't have balance. That's why you do yoga or whatever it is, so you get balance. I don't have strength. Well, you have to start lifting weights to gain strength. So we all didn't start, when Jamie's sparring, she didn't start out knowing all of the punches. She probably went in there kind of like,
Or the grappling.
yeah, or like
It's
when
MMA.
I went in to start teaching,
Yeah.
when they were like, I want you to teach water aerobics. I was like, I've never taught water aerobics in my life. And I had to learn, I had to get the ability. And so every time you go in, you learned a little bit more. So that's kind of with this, it's like, so many, and I put this on here, so many women believe they aren't good at fitness. And that's what keeps us back. And that may be keeping you back on stuff like, I always say, I don't want to do the Bible study because I don't know all about the Bible. There's going to be more. That's why you go to the Bible study, is so that you learn about the Bible. There's always going to be someone better than you.
Oh,
I will
yeah.
just tell you that 100%. I've told my kids that. I still tell them, there's always going to be someone better than you. You have to work harder. You have to read more. You have to maybe do, instead of 3 days a week, maybe you go 4 days a week until you learn and have that ability. And so I don't want you guys to get discouraged, because we all have a starting point. There's always a starting point. And I always look at it too, is some people, they don't, and I don't weigh or anything like that, but you know, we have to have a starting point. So whether it's inches, whether it's pictures, whatever it is, but I always say you're not going to stay there. That's not where you're going to be when we finish this process. You're going to have a guide to say, oh, I could never remember that Bible verse, and now I know 10 or 15 Bible verses and stuff. So we always have the ability, but one thing it's going to take is consistency. You can't come to a Bible study one day or 1 week and then go, oh, I got it, and you know, not. You have to still show up. And with fitness and with nutrition, it is consistency. Same thing with learning your Bible, you know, having the will of God. It has to be consistency. You can't do it for a month and think, oh my gosh, I'm okay. You got to keep going. Is it going to hurt when you first start? Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant. You may wake up sore and like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? But you have to keep showing up, because then it becomes easier, and then it becomes routine. I'm still waiting on my Bible study to come in, because I'm going to read the Bible 365 days. I'm supposed to read the Bible, and you know, my Bible study that I'm getting for the house, and I'm still waiting for it. I've already sent nasty emails and stuff, but that was one of my goals.
So you sent nasty emails.
Kind of defeats the point.
Yeah, I did.
Christian thing.
I did a Christian thing that says, "Don't make me go to Mardell's." That's what I told them. Don't make me to go to Mardell's. And
I
find
can send you an email with 365-day Bible study.
Well, I've already purchased it.
Tell
I would
them
like-
to send you your money back.
Yes.
I would like an email.
Okay.
And
I just
so-
do better with the book.
Me too.
I need
Yes.
like a book.
That's why
Yeah.
I want that, so I can
Yeah.
look at the
I've been doing that for years.
And so-
The cat and I.
But
read
one
it
thing
every
too,
morning.
Aw.
it's consistency, and that's what we have to do. And one thing too is I always say, you know, it's consistency, and who has motivation? We all have motivation sometimes, but when that alarm goes off and we go, oh, I could snooze, or I'll do that later, that's where your dedication has to fall in. So it's like, I don't feel like reading my Bible, but that dedication, it's like I set this time, and that's why I'm so schedule orientated. I'm like, I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes, I'm gonna work out for this long, and I'm gonna do that, and that's why I'm waiting for my Bible study, so I can, like, this is my
You know,
first day I
do
have to
The
do.
cat and I sit in the recliner. I said, "Fully go and read the Bible every day." Yesterday, I was like really busy, and the cat was sitting over there
Waiting.
waiting.
Yeah,
Wait,
he knows
doing
your
his Bible
schedule.
study.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yes. So,
That's cute.
I also, and it's funny how they are like that, 'cause
Yes, sitting
I
right
love
there
that.
What
Yeah.
are you doing? You need
Yeah.
to be over here. you
Yeah.
know.
My time.
Huh?
It's my time.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
It's our time. That's their
I
time.
did a
to do it.
study with a guy that worked for the government, and he said that he does a thing that's called past me blesses future me. And so he does things the day before to set up
Yes.
for the next day. So,
Yep.
you know, anything that he can do so that he can wake up and read.
Just go. Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what I do the night before is I still, even though I'm working out at home, I still lay out my clothes. I laid out my workout clothes, so if you'd see my closet, it's like a nightmare or whatever. But
How many tennis shoes do you have?
I don't even know, Michael. So leave me
You know what,
alone.
Michael, that is a private area for
But-
you.
But I'm like, literally,
So-
if I didn't have stuff laid out, I'd be like, well, I could wear that. No, I'll wear that. I think I wore that color yesterday. And so I lay everything out. I even lay my tennis shoes out. I know what workout I'm going to do. I've already picked it out because I could sit there and scroll on my Peloton to figure out which workout, go through music and all of that stuff.
So on your scroll time, when you're checking the phone, that was my question, is because I work on my phone.
Well,
I do too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And so I do take that into account.
Okay, so when you do my scroll check,
Yeah, when I do like
Yeah.
I just want to make the
Like the
preface that
yeah.
I do work on
And
my
some
phone.
people do work on their phone, but a lot of
Yeah.
people, like I look at my students, they don't work on their phone.
Yeah.
And when they have 4 hours, I'm like, you could have done all of your
Yeah,
homework.
I agree.
Well, Jill can go to your social media and look at that scroll
Yeah.
time. And then she can figure it
Yeah,
out.
like what you're doing.
I'll
and-
let you do that, I'll give you
Yeah. So I don't want, I want you to reframe, I don't have the ability, I'm learning. Okay, so it's like, I'm still learning stuff, and like when you come into a Bible study, you come into anything new, you kind of sit back and see how everything goes. You don't want to go in and go, this is how we're doing it, because
Yes.
that's not how they're doing it. You got to kind of fit in. Yeah.
That's how I learn.
Yes.
I agree.
Because that's how, I mean, and
Say
that's,
that again, like the most important thing you can say. I mean, that is so important.
but I said that's what we were talking about at work yesterday. I went because they were hiring a new boss and stuff, and I said, as a boss coming in, a new one, I would come in, see how everything's ran, ask questions, because just because how I want it to run is not maybe how they've, and I don't want to say they've always done it, because you can always change some things to make it better, but you have to see. You can't come in and just start throwing bombs and stuff, because people aren't going to like that. So I always come in, kind of sit back, see how things are going, how they're running, and then say, make suggestions. So, yeah. So,
Suggestions.
suggestions.
Strong
Yes.
suggestions.
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, I want to make suggestions,
Yeah.
and they may come in and say, we tried that, and this X, Y, Z happened. And I said, and you have to be safe in your own as a boss or whatever to go, oh, I totally understand that, because you're not always right just because you're the boss.
Right.
So you need to,
That's the
Ron
most
always says
important.
the no's of yesterday and the yeses of today. So
Yeah.
just because it didn't work yesterday
Yeah.
doesn't mean it won't work
yeah,
today.
oh, yeah.
We have to fly by the seat of your pants.
Well, I do.
Yeah, that's how I
well,
live, too.
and I honestly, I will tell people, like, when I have to do like talks and stuff that I've done 10 million times, they're like, do you need, or how are you gonna do it? I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna come in, wing it from the hip. I'm just gonna go from the hip, shoot from the hip. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. We'll just go.
You know what allows you to do that is the mentality that says, I'm here to learn, I'm not here to, like even though you're doing the meeting today, when you come in to do the meeting, you come in, you watch, you observe.
Oh, yeah.
You put out ideas and you listen when other people are giving you the
And you
input,
have
which
to
is
understand,
wonderful.
yeah, and you have to understand, especially with fitness, everyone's gonna be completely different. Like, you know, we've had people that said they have cancer, they're getting ready to start radiation. I can't tell you, okay, I still need you to run 5 miles.
Right.
Because you're gonna be exhausted. And so so one thing is, I want you to do strength training, but I want you to do it till you feel comfortable. Am I gonna overload your body? No, I'm not gonna overload, because you're willing to fight, you're fighting other things.
And that's what I told him. I said, I'm
Yeah.
gonna still continue to work on that goal.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I've got a
but it
nice
may
exercise
look a little
bike,
different.
weights,
Yes.
smaller weights,
Mhm.
and I can sit at my chair.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, can do lift legs and
Yeah,
and all
100%.
kinds of things.
Yeah. And it's funny because one of the ladies I worked with at the hospital, she is, she had breast cancer. This is her 3rd round of leukemia.
Oh.
So, and she's kicking booty, I can say. And so that was one of the things, we were shocked when it came back. And it was one of her things, she was like, and it was the same kind of cancer. And, she always says she, I guess she had, it's like her 3rd birth, she said, because she's had immunizations 3 times, all of her baby immunizations all over. And her donor, bone marrow donor, is from like England this time. And so she finally got to go home to her parents' house in Oklahoma City, because that's where she's doing it and stuff. But one of the things her doctor said this time is he set her up with a personal trainer that specifically prepares them to fight cancer. And so she was doing a workout and
That's
stuff
so
with
cool.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, fitness is like, it is a necessity. And I always say, you want to go in as healthy as possible, because if you go in sick and tired, it's going to be really hard for you to fight.
To fight it. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
To have, and I would say to have that, because a lot of it I think is mental too. Like you said, I'm not dying over this,
Right.
Right. And I'm gonna live over this. And you have to have that mentality, but your body has to be able to fight it too. So, and what's so bad about fitness kind of taking a left turn, most of the time, I mean, working at the hospital, we saw people, and even working at the gym, we saw people that it became a necessity. It wasn't like they wanted to. It's like, oh, I'm pre-diabetic, or I just had a heart attack. And that's almost to the point where it's too late of doing that. Now and I will say, because at the hospital I had people that were 60 older, and teaching an old dog new tricks is really hard, because they are grounded, and I always did it this way. I've always done it this way. And we've had to be harsh and say, well, this is where you ended up. This is what it got you.
Right.
And so
You did it, wasn't working.
yeah, exactly. And I've had my weight loss patients go, well, I've always done it this way. And I'm like, and you're now a type 2 diabetic and you're on insulin.
Right.
So obviously something you're doing was not working. And so
And you can use the phrase, insanity is doing something the same way every time
Yes.
and expect a different result.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, the
So-
next, oh, go
So
ahead.
if my cat weighs 10 pounds,
You could hold him and do squats with
oh,
him.
the squats too, huh? I was thinking, okay, I could pick that
Well,
strength training.
Well,
up.
and that is, you're picking him up, but one thing too I want you guys to think about, and you kind of said it earlier, Jamie, but our like lifespan, or how we think about it, it has to be in our legs.
Yes.
I mean, you have to be able to walk, you have to be able to get up. And a lot of the ladies, in water aerobics, I told them, I want you to do push-ups, but during commercials, I want you getting up and out of your seat. Because you think about without pushing, because that's going to be strengthening your legs. You got to get off the stool. You got to get off, the couch, off the chair. And if you can't do that by just your legs, that's going to be harder for you when you get around and get older to walk and stuff. And we want to be able to walk. We don't want to be able to shuffle, because that's when people trip and that's when they fall. So we want to be able to walk. We want to have that gait where we're moving. So
I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be dependent on someone else.
Well, my mom is
As
like
long
that
as
right
possible.
now, and she's like this big, and she's going to physical therapy now, but I told her, you've got to do some type of exercise. You're not doing what you're being told to do.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
yeah, it's hard.
And she keeps falling.
Yeah, yeah. And I can't remember the exact numbers because I looked them up for one of my classes, but usually if someone falls and has a hip break and they don't have the strength, their lifespan, has been dropped down to like 50%
Yeah.
and stuff. So we don't, as we get older, we don't want to break a hip because our lifespan's not going to be as good, as long. So, okay. Number 3, I'm too busy. Who said that?
Dude, follow me for 24 hours and you will sing my song.
She's the busiest person
Follow
I've
me
ever
for
seen.
24
And
hours.
I want, and that doesn't go towards you or anything, but this is kind of one of the things I thought of. Busy doesn't mean productive. It means
not true.
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
means overwhelmed, okay? And overwhelmed women don't need more to do, they need focus. So that's why, and I know yours is probably a lot different because your doors are open 24/7, it seems like. So
Right,
people,
but I'm not even talking about this. I started another job that's just as big as this, if not bigger, and I went back to school, so I just.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah, good for you.
And then, in the
classes
middle
are
of
you
all that,
taking?
you have people that have emergencies and things, I mean,
Yeah.
So what are
And
you
I finished
doing?
I'll take that out.
Okay.
Okay, so on that wellness shift, just talking on wellness, think about one thing at a time, one choice at a time. So we may have to, like with you set up, maybe you only do 15 minutes in the morning. Like you said, you're walking, but you were walking plus praying,
Yeah.
doing, and
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah. So you're double timing it on that
Yeah.
and stuff. So some of the examples on Too Busy, and I want you guys to encourage you guys to do this. Eat without distractions. So without your phone, without the TV. So that one thing too is we're mindful, and that's a lot of times. I mean, I'm the worst at. I will be eating and sometimes watching TV or whatever, and then I look down. I was like, oh, everything's gone. did I eat all that? You know, and so,
Oh, yeah, right?
so it's like, oh, and you think that you're
The whole
still,
package of nuts.
yeah, exactly. It's like, it's,
Well, how did I do that?
yeah, it's all gone. So I want you to think about, focus on one habit per week, okay? Put workouts on your calendar, and that's what I've told my patients this, I've told students this. Put your workouts on your calendar like they're an appointment with your doctor. You're not going to break your appointment with your doctor. If you or like your boss, you have to go to that meeting. You can't break it. You have to go to it. So make it where, like, if it has to be at noon and then Jamie calls me and says, hey, let's go to lunch, I look at my calendar, oh, I already have an appointment. So you have to make that commitment, and that has to be consistency, and it may be different every week.
Tell
And
me
that's,
about your calendar, because I think that's really important. What type of a calendar do you use?
I'm old school. I
Yes,
have a paper
thank you.
calendar.
I love you. Oh my gosh,
I'm
I'm
old
crazy.
school.
Okay.
I love getting a new calendar every year. I go pick it out. And I usually bring it with me because I have it with me because it's a little spiral one. I mean, it sits on my desk. It's kind of big. And I I will jot down. Now, some things I will put in my phone.
Right.
And it's like if I'm at my hairdresser and she was like, let's do it this time, I will put it in there, but I will instantly go home and write it in my calendar. I will put a reminder.
To myself, email
Yes.
reminders to myself, and then I put it in my calendar.
Yes, I will, because I usually when I'm at home, in my home office, it's right there. It's always out, and then I'm doing something, I'll look if someone calls, because sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm like, I don't look at my phone. I mean, I use my phone. I use my phone for business, but I just don't like the calendar for some reason. And I'll look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, I have this, I have that. I don't have to schedule my workouts anymore because I know I'm going to do those at 4 or 6 o'clock in the morning. As a given for me, there's nothing going to. But if I'm going to start putting on my calendar my Bible study, I'm going to, when I get my Bible study, I'm going to
I'm
put,
gonna send you one today.
yes, yes, thank you. And I'll put that in there because I know that's not a norm for me. So I'm going to have to put it on my schedule because I'll be like, oh, I'll do that later, which most of the time I probably won't. So I want it on my schedule. So I'm going to put on a schedule, maybe at 9 o'clock after I work out, I go instantly in there before I shower. Yeah, exactly. When is later? It changes.
And
Yeah.
you'll do it next week.
Yes,
I'm gonna
exactly.
do this later. Okay, wait.
Later for me is never.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
I'll just hopefully
honestly-
get to it tomorrow.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then, no, it never happens.
never
And
happens.
then I got all this guilt because now I'm 2 days.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna do 2 Bible studies
Well,
because I didn't do one
well, and
yesterday.
that's what I told Michael. I said, I'm gonna have to double time because it's the 10th. I'm so far
I'm gonna send you
behind.
2 things to help you be caught up.
Okay.
And one of them is the book of Genesis that, because you're probably gonna get an Old Testament, New Testament combination that is 3 hours. And you can watch it while you work out. I don't know what
Oh,
you work
yeah.
out to, but whatever. It's gonna be scripture going inside of you. And I can give you Genesis and I can give you Matthew. And that'll be your start point so that whenever you do get,
Okay.
or just when you get it, just start where you are and don't guilt over what you haven't
Yeah,
done.
and that's
If
what I
you
said. I'll
miss
just have to do a year and a half.
You just miss a day, you just pick up and.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And number 1, and I'll shut up.
No.
Just the Holy Spirit is your best friend.
Yes, I was
And
about
just say,
to
Holy
say
Spirit, just help me.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Most definitely. So I want you guys, I said some of the engagements, like where could be more present and help reduce your stress in the day. So because we have to think we're stressed or, all the time. And, if we don't have, and I will say some stress is good. If we didn't have any stress, we'd probably be dead. So we want some, but we don't want it to be overwhelming. Because the stress, if we're like high on stress all the time, that's when cortisol is, comes up, and then that's not good for us. So I want you guys just to think about, have a schedule, have a routine. That's going to help a lot too. Because I have this, I say schedule, I have a routine that I do, every day it seems like and stuff. So create that for yourself, and yours is going to look completely different than everybody else's, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, number 4 excuses is I don't have the money. you don't have to have money for fitness. I mean, I will tell you that is my profession, that has been my life, and if I counted how much I spend a month on fitness, it would probably not make me happy. Or it makes me happy, I do. But I get like equipment in, like Mike, we got something, he was like, what is that? You know, we're watching on the camera, we're out doing something, I was like, I have no idea. I totally forgot that I ordered another medicine ball. You know, I was like, oh, that's what that is. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, medicine ball. I was like, you know, I get happy when I see my new stuff come in, but sometimes when I'm, you know, when I order it, you know, it's one of those things. But I want you guys thinking about walking is free. And I was thinking here, you guys have an awesome like walking path. It has hills, it has inclines.
Serious hills.
That's what we need to be doing. We don't need to be walking flat all the time. We need to be doing those inclines. So you could go back, I mean, every way, I guess every which way you go, there's an incline.
You
So,
can go down to the sign and back. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, just that in itself, just going to the sign and back is a lot.
yeah.
I mean,
And one thing too, baby step it. I mean, especially, I will say, you know, being a trainer for so long, sometimes when we go, okay, I want you on the elliptical for 15 minutes, and some people get on, they're like, I can't even go 5 minutes. So, and we'll tell people, like, especially when they start the weight loss, you know, they're like 300, 200 pounds. I'm not gonna have them, they can't walk this track. There's no way. So one of my things is I want you to walk to your mailbox and I want you to make it back to the house. That's it. And then once you get comfortable with that, then I want you to walk to your mailbox. Maybe I want you to walk to your friend's mailbox, your neighbor's mailbox, and then come back. One, it's safety, because if something happens, you're right by home, there's stuff, and so you're not like, I want you to walk in the trails or go to Riverside and try and walk, and there's no one there. So,
Smart.
so walking's free. Do what feels comfortable to you. Okay, so if you just walking down the hill and then coming back, perfect. That's all you need to do until that feels comfortable or that feels doable, and then add another one. So walking is free. I will tell you, doing body weight, strength, not street, stay out the street, strength training is free too. You can do squats. And who during COVID, when COVID happened, people were freaking out because I was freaking out because gyms were closed. We were on Marketplace, like trying to buy all of this equipment and stuff like that. But a lot of times we had people, you know, you have your Tide detergent. Hold your Tide detergent. You can do squats with that. You can hold your Tide detergent doing squats with that. You can grab your bottles of water, do bicep curls. You can do overhead presses with that. You can do push-ups with that. So you don't have to have a lot of equipment. And then when you can, I mean, we were shopping at garage sales. I mean, wherever we could find equipment, we were buying it and stuff. Just so, but you don't have to have that if you have household items. We would have, like, some of our students, we would have them have their backpacks. We'd have them put all their books on it, put their backpack on, do squats, or walk around. You don't have to have a weight. I will tell you, some people always ask about weighted vests. You do not have to have weighted vests. It does not build muscle, okay? It just adds resistance. But you could walk with your backpack on. That's gonna be a little bit of added resistance to it as well. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You don't have to go to, I mean, I know there's $10 gyms a month and stuff like that, which are great, but maybe you can't do the $10. So you walk your neighborhood and do those kind of things. Water's free too. You don't, like we were talking about, you don't have to buy all the specialty waters. You don't. You just, I drink tap water. I mean, that's all I drink, and then I can add my elements, or I won't add anything and just drink it perfectly. Because you don't, I will tell you, I will say this, you don't have to do electrolytes, okay? You don't have to have those. Those are not a necessity unless you're like working out really, really hard. You just want, and some people like Gatorades and stuff. No one needs Gatorade. I mean, unless you are working out really, really hard.
Every night.
Because one thing too, if you're drinking Gatorade, you're getting more sugar than you're getting your electrolytes. Unless you're doing the sugar-free, you're getting more sugar. And we don't want added sugar.
What is the G2?
I don't know.
Okay, I think it's less, but I don't think it's 0.
Yeah, so you need to
Okay.
get the sugar-free if you do Gatorade every night, yeah. Because one thing too, we want to get rid of that added sugar. I I mean, I won't buy anything that has added sugar in it.
Most of the people in my family are insulin dependent,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor told me I was pre-diabetic.
Yep.
I told that to another doctor, and he said, Linda, we're all pre-diabetic.
Well, your numbers will show that you're pre-diabetic.
Oh,
So
that's
not
what he was
everybody's
telling me.
pre-diabetic.
Your A1C that
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
So far, mine's been good.
Yeah,
Good, that's good.
yeah, that's good.
I'm not gonna say so far. Mine will always be good.
Yeah. So drinking water's free, cooking simple meals. Cooking your own meals is often cheaper, and I won't say often, is cheaper than eating out. And I will always say, people will say eating healthy is expensive. No, it's not. It is not. We go, I would say to Sam's, or my mom does, because we cook my mom's chicken. Every Saturday, she will bring chicken, and she gets at Sam, and I look at the price, it's $15. We cook that feeds, depends on if Emerson steals some, that usually feeds 4 people for the whole week. And so that $15, and so you go out to eat, and you look at how much you spend. I mean, you can't go to Chick-fil-A for one person for like $12, unless you get the kids' meal and all that stuff. So eating out has become really, really expensive, and it's not good for you and stuff. So I'm not gonna say never eat out, but you cooking your own meals, because you'll have leftovers too that you can still eat or change and do different things and stuff. So sleeping more is free, but it's powerful. So I want to tell you guys, how much sleep do you guys get?
Not enough.
6
Yeah.
hours.
6?
I get sometimes like 4.
I wake up in the middle.
Yeah.
I wake up.
5?
I
Most
use
of-
a CPAP machine, so I have to do 8.
8, okay.
Doesn't mean I'm sleeping, but I'm using the CPAP machine.
Right, well,
8
we
hours.
want to try and get at least 8 hours, because one thing you have to realize is your body's repairing itself when it's sleeping, okay? So
I'm
if
a
you're
night
doing,
owl. It's so hard.
well, you have to change your schedule, and that's one of the things that you may have to like look
Yeah.
at and see, because if your body's not recovering, it's not going to be able to build muscle, it's not going to be able to function, you're not going to be able to focus. Some of you guys may, and I mean, when I hit the pillow, it's so funny. I was talking to Emerson last night. It was like 7:30. I was asking about the dog because it needs to lose weight. Asking questions, and I knew she was still at work. So, and then I laid down, and she was like, "Hello, are you still there?" And I was like on the text message. I was like, "Sorry, I fell asleep." She goes, "It was 8:15," and I was like, "I'm out. I was time for bed. Time for bed." And so I always like have.
So Mike lets you sleep?
Oh yeah,
How on earth? Like,
yeah.
there's no way.
He's up 24/7.
I know, but like even when he's like trying to be quiet, like.
Well,
It's like keep
I have
off
a
and
fan,
on.
talking about like hormone replacements and stuff. Before I got on that, I have a fan that was out in our garage to like for me to work out, sitting on one of our bar stools, like, and it's like, I mean, it's like
Oh.
a ultra fan that hits me in the face.
Stops the
still.
other noises.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hear. And then
Oh,
plus we have
that's
another
great.
little box fan that we had before, then we have the ceiling
I like
fan.
the fans in the air purifier machine.
I
If
have
it's
to-
gone, it helps me sleep.
Well, when
Yeah. I have that
we
too.
travel with the box fan, because the first night when we were on vacation and they were supposed to get us one and we didn't have one, it was the worst night of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Maybe I'll try that.
And
Yeah.
we this year don't sleep with the heat on. We
yeah.
have it turned so far down, and I'll tell you why. Your breathing is better. Your face isn't as
Yeah, it's
dry.
not
Your
dry.
skin's not dry. Your hair's not dry. The heater just dries us out.
And you
so-
sleep better when it's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
usually turn the fan on when I was going through menopause for
Mhm.
11 years. Hot flashes.
11
This
years?
is yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is me laying in bed, and the fan is on, and suddenly I get. You can experience cold flashes too, and they are just
Oh,
as
really?
painful. I'm going through that now. Cold flashes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Chuck walked into the room. I was like, "Turn off the fan. It's cold in here." And I could feel my arms. He's like, "Okay." Turns it off. Walks to the bedroom. I'm like, "Oh, never mind. Turn it back on." That's how quickly. I even took my temperature while having a hot flash, and it doesn't register.
No.
No, that has nothing to do with
You
it.
feel like
know,
you're,
but I thought, well,
you feel like
maybe
you're just gonna combust. I would literally run outside, and so, and like my feet would touch like the concrete when it's like so cold, and Mike's like, are you kidding? I was like, you have no idea. That's why I
Yes.
called my doctor, because I couldn't sleep, and I'm a good sleeper. Got on hormone replacements just like that, and knocked those suckers out.
Mhm.
Because
I
I was
had a
like-
new challenge. It's happened before, but in the last couple of weeks it increased. But when your dad watches the fighting shows,
Oh,
he wakes up punching me, and like
We need to stop.
there's
the
a
camera.
reason I'm violent.
I hit him because I was asleep, and he hit
Yeah.
my arm. I was like, "Oh, you did not," you know. But you know, he did it this week, and he woke wide awake, and I got the pillow, and I was hitting him with the pillow because it made me so mad. And I turned the light on, and he sat up in the bed, and then he laid back down and went to sleep. And then I'm there, like trying to go back to sleep for 3 hours. And he didn't even remember it the next day. And so I said, no more fighting shows for a week. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be
I hate to say
Jackie
it,
Chan
but
and-
I do that all night long. My
Yeah.
husband says I move. It's like I'm in a marathon.
Yeah.
We wake up and the bed is torn
He
apart.
literally was like,
It's like I'm working out in my sleep. So I don't even know if I'm really sleeping
well,
good.
maybe you and Dad need to sleep together for a while.
We might hurt each other.
A couple of
You,
black-
you know what I would do, what I did is, I have a guest bedroom, and guess where Chuck ended up? Because he was suddenly being very restless and yelling out in his sleep. And it was a constant thing. I'm like, I can't sleep because he's yelling out. I'm like, Chuck, shut up. Okay. And then he'd start up all over again. So I kicked him out of the room. He's retired, and I have to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep.
Mhm.
After 4:30, I know I'm starting to wake up.
Right.
I haven't used my alarm. And
Yeah,
so
that's kind of how,
it's-
yeah, I didn't really have to have.
But I don't like the idea of getting up in the morning and exercising.
Well, you don't have to
You don't
do
have
it.
to.
No, I
every
know
morning.
that, but it's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
you
such
have
a
to
hard time with that, but I love to do it after work.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
And one thing about your husband's, I pinch my husband's nose.
Oh, yeah.
When he's snoring or if he's moving around and irritating me, I'll just lean over and just pinch his nose and his nostrils real tight. And it's like a reset. Like everything
don't
gets
do
better.
that.
So I don't know.
And when you
It
start
works for
breathing,
me.
I don't do that because when Mike sleeps, I'm like, he's sleeping.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch
Yeah,
him because he
don't wake
doesn't sleep. I mean, I woke up last night and I looked out at the bedroom and he's like in the kitchen doing stuff at 2 o'clock, and wide awake. And so when he sleeps, I'm like,
So he and I
everybody
have the same problem.
tiptoe.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably
Is
gets.
it
He
because
probably
you're
gets.
thinking, because that's one of Chuck's
Yeah.
problems, is he had to find a way to stop thinking and shut his brain
He's
down.
never slept. He said even when he was a kid, he's never slept.
Yeah, my mom said the same thing about me. I didn't
Yeah.
sleep as
And
a
we
kid.
laugh because Sutton was the same way. I mean, he, doesn't need a whole lot of sleep. And then when we saw Walker, our grandson, they were like, he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's, not, and we're like, ready to go. Yeah, we're like, well, that,
Yeah, it checks.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
So,
remember when Ron and I first got married, and he's like the Energizer Bunny. I'm like, when I wake up, I'm not. And I'm like, oh, smile. Yeah, you don't want to wake up to, oh my gosh, what's
Right.
the matter with you? So I
Yeah.
always like, smile, be happy, because you want to be a happy wife. And he's like Energizer Bunny,
yeah. Yeah.
My husband's a really bad diabetic,
I'm
so
so
he wears
sorry.
that. And it goes off all the time.
Oh, because it drops so
And,
low.
and I'll say, you're going off, can I go get you something? Or, because he's so tired, he doesn't feel like getting up.
Right.
And it'll go on, one night it went on till like 3 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And so how do you sleep?
Yeah.
I'm a light sleeper,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
apparently sleep was the topic that needed to be brought
Exactly.
up.
We needed to bring that
We
up.
didn't even know
Separate
that was such a
bedroom.
Yeah.
problem.
That's how I get sleep.
I would honestly have to go to another room.
Ours are turned in.
Yeah, I would honestly
Yeah,
have to
They-
go, yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
it needs to be turned
Huh?
up to regular.
It's just easier for both.
And when I'm sick.
Well,
I'll go to
Michael,
the living
like,
room
I
and
always
sit
ask Mike, I'm like, did you
so
sleep
that
in the
I'm
bed
not
last
close.
night? And he goes, I always, and we were talking about it at lunch yesterday, he goes, I'm always in there at least 2 hours with you. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, you're dead to the world. You have no idea. But he goes, I'm usually in there at least 2 hours, but then the rest of the time he's like doing stuff or trying to take us, sleep on the couch or in his recliner and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, okay, number 5, it's too late. And I don't want you guys, I put this on here, as long as you're breathing, you're still becoming.
That's right.
So it's never too late to start a program, a wellness program. It's never
That's
too
true.
late to change your eating habits, drink your water. And I will say too, because we've talked about exercise, nutrition and stuff, I don't want you to go, oh, she said I need to exercise here, I need to change my eating habits, drink all this water. Start baby stepping it, okay?
Right.
Because it's gonna be overwhelming at first. Kind of like, you said, don't try and cram 10 days of Bible study because that's going to be overwhelming, and I'm definitely going to be like, oof, that's too much. I don't want to do that. But if I just go one day, I just tack those 10 days or however many days onto the backside, or maybe some days I feel like I want to do 2. I'll do 2 or whatever. So really baby step it and find something that you feel is probably going to be most beneficial to you. Maybe it's the water. Maybe it's just walking. And I will say, because there's so many, they've come out with studies, there's so many benefits of like walking after dinner, 10 minutes. Go walk, after dinner for 10 minutes or something.
Does anyone have a dog?
I do.
Because I walk my dog
Yeah.
every night,
Yes.
sometimes twice, and he loves it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
Oh,
And it's
they
great
do.
bonding time.
Okay, I have little chihuahua.
Oh yeah. You can just carry it too, and that'd be like some weight
They
training.
might get tired
Yeah.
midway through.
Yes,
and
And
pick it
I
up.
know, you
Yeah.
were talking about your cat, time for the Bible study and stuff. Cash, and if you see my videos, he's in most all of my videos and stuff that I do, because he waits, because he knows after I get done working out, we go for a walk. And that, he gets so excited, he knows, and on certain days, and today we did it this morning too, but usually on Saturdays, he gets excited, and I always go, Cash, it's Saturday, we walk when I get back home, because I usually go to the gym on Saturdays, and he's like, that's right, he does, he's just
Yeah.
like,
Doesn't understand the
It's the
concept
most,
of time.
it's the most wonderful feeling, because
Yes.
I will say this: a dog does help you be more active, and I love cats too. I love
Yeah.
all critters. I even love squirrels. So,
Okay.
I think that he makes me better about getting
There's
outside.
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I always tell them to walk before you eat because that helps you burn calories.
It's probably gonna have your metabolism a little bit higher, but any kind of activity you do, you're gonna burn calories. So, and we need to eat. We need those calories that we're doing. So it depends on what you're doing. It probably won't burn like all your calories that you're eating, but whenever you can do it, do it.
I drink coffee
there's a-
before my workouts. Does that help?
It's almost like a pre-workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because some people will say, they'll say, what is your they'll always ask me what my pre-workout is, and I usually will make 1 cup of coffee, have like 2-3 sips of it, and then I go work out.
Okay. The doctor told me that my stomach condition is not.
I drink
It's
coffee
not
before
fatal.
my workouts.
It's just
Strong
incurable.
coffee. It
So
helps.
he told me to drink caffeine because it
Whatever I
speeds
need that
up
day.
the digestive system.
Sometimes 2 or
because it's
3.
tough.
Sometimes 1.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it helps kind
So
of
you guys are okay to drink coffee?
Yeah.
I
Your
love
heart
it.
rate's
Coffee
going.
is
So-
fine. I was gonna tell you, there's a lady in my neighborhood 2 houses down. She's up in her 80s. She walks every single day, right up the street beside my house and right back. If I'm outside, like there was one day in particular, she said, how come you don't have your yard mowed? And I said, I'm sorry, the guy that mows it had a problem with this mower, but he's getting it fixed. He's been doing it every 2 weeks. So she knew exactly
she's
when
like,
my lawn
Yeah.
got mowed
Yeah.
and why did I get it mowed.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Somebody
needs a life.
So
Yeah.
we used to walk up and down
Yeah.
her driveway every day.
Yeah.
Every day she would be walking from the house to the mailbox.
It can be a good thing for safety purposes,
I
though, if she
guess so.
notices
Yeah,
something.
she pays attention.
And I see people walk their cats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 So if you have a cat, you
When
can walk
you're
it.
eating a meal, I've heard 2 different scenarios on this. Drinking water while you're eating helps to fill yourself up quickly. But some people say drinking water or drinking anything while you're eating is bad. So it's like, what is true?
My stomach
There's
doctor
no right or
gave
wrong
me the
on
thing on that, and he said my stomach condition's not fatal, it's just incurable. but they told me only drink 6 ounces of fluid with a meal.
Mhm.
So I have no idea if that's kind of the standard.
And that may be with your condition
Right,
and stuff.
yeah.
Because, I mean, I drink
A
lots
lot.
of water.
Yeah.
I never
So-
drink water when I eat,
Yeah.
like
Me
ever.
either.
It's usually black coffee. So I think
Yeah,
it's just as
yeah,
long as you get
after-
your water in.
After a certain
Yeah.
time of night, day, I have to stop drinking coffee. Morning is my best time for coffee.
Yeah.
But I drink it with creamer, so that just kind
Yeah.
of kills me right there because of the creamer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to switch to drinking it black because I was drinking so many calories, and it was hard. But
Yeah.
now I can't drink it any
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah.
You know,
Finding a decent cup of coffee that tastes good black is hard.
It is. It is.
I can drink any, I'm sorry.
Another question, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I used to drink, which I slacked down, but I'm gonna pick it back up, like those 44 ounces that you can get at Sonic, the water.
Mhm.
I drink 6 of those a day.
Of water?
The one thing too with those, just make sure if you're getting the flavored waters and stuff, or they're adding the
Like
the
strawberries or-
stuff into it, the
Yeah.
whatever, that it's sugar free.
Yeah, it's just plain 44 ounce of ice water from Sonic.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
very
6 of those a day.
wow.
I was doing sometimes 7, and I slacked down.
That is
And
awesome.
then I walk like 5 times a day at the park, which
Yeah.
I had to because I have an Aussie and she's.
I have an Aussie. I need to
that's
bring her over. Bring him
They
over.
like to walk.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they do.
She
Yeah.
quit drinking coffee till your dad made her some, and now she's been drinking
Yeah.
coffee again.
They're actually
Well, it's
saying
too
coffee has a lot
light.
of good benefits.
That's why she can drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And skin cancer too is supposed to help. Like it's, and I know they go back and forth on things. They have all
Yeah,
like
what
for
is-
years.
what is correct,
But
what
I
is not,
mean, I think my father had me started. He started having me drink coffee with him when I was 4. When I would wake up and watch cartoons with him,
Wow.
and that was our thing. I would go in there and watch him make our coffee in the morning every Saturday.
Oh,
and
No, that's a wonderful thing.
yeah, so I've been drinking it a
Great
long time. I'm fine.
I just remember we went on vacation and I made the coffee, and Ron was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Ron, your coffee's water."
Well, he didn't used to, I didn't used to drink it like that.
Like, he's like,
Yeah.
"This is so
We have that
strong."
fight in the office all the time.
Yeah.
So
I just
funny.
learned to make it the way he likes it, and
Yeah.
I adjusted.
Yeah, it's just
But he
so
didn't
funny.
used to drink it that way.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
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 So I want you to think it's not too late. It's just time to start differently. And so one thing too is I tell even the ladies that I'm teaching and coaching in class, your journey is going to be completely different. And I don't want you to look at somebody and go, "Oh, well, look at her," because she may be on chapter 30 and you're on chapter 1.
Right.
And so everyone's workout's going to look different. And it doesn't mean that they're better, faster, stronger. They're just in a different chapter. And so
That's
everybody
nice.
has to start somewhere. And so, and that's perfectly fine. So, I just want you to consistently keep doing it, okay? So, and the last one is, I'm too tired. So that is an excuse for everyone. And I always say, you're tired because you're not moving your body. You're not giving it that energy that it needs. So tired doesn't always mean you need rest. Sometimes it means you need better boundaries, better fuel, or better stress management. So I want you guys to kind of look at where you're at. And that's one thing I always say, and we're totally different. I like to work out in the morning. I get it over with. I always look at it as it gives me more energy for the day. I make better decisions with my food and my drinks throughout the day. But I used to be a person that worked out at night until my schedule changed or my kids' schedule changed, and I had to flip it. And there's still people that love to work out at night. I had a patient that her schedule was she worked out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "Oh my Lord!"
I work out at lunchtime, and
Yeah,
I
my
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, and
I know
so
this.
there's one thing I want you guys to think about on your exhaustion. If you're too tired, look at your nutrition. Are you skipping meals? If you're skipping meals and not getting your fuel in, you're gonna be too tired. You're not gonna build a muscle. You're not gonna have the energy for your day, period. So you need to look at your calorie intake. Go ahead.
Protein shakes.
Yeah.
I've been working 5 days a week, 4 days. I've been drinking protein shakes for lunch.
Mhm.
That has like 42 grams,
Mhm.
really high. Probably has a
Yeah.
lot of sugar though. And then
you
Fridays.
need to change that
Yeah.
because it's defeating the purpose.
Okay. It's hard to find a protein shake. I mean,
Sam's has
Atkins.
some good
Sam's
ones.
has good
Yeah,
ones.
there's a lot of protein shakes that don't have sugar.
Yeah, Jill could help you with that.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
knows
okay.
about
Then
all
you,
that.
you can let me know what
Yeah.
good ones to take, to drink. That would be better.
Yeah.
And then on a
Most of
Friday,
the
I'll
time.
go to lunch with Chuck and we'll have, mainly, we try to do like a vegetables or our salads and I try to keep it low and
You still need to add
less
protein.
carbs. Less carbs.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing too, it's not necessarily carbs, because carbs are not bad for you.
Okay.
Depending on what carbs, because if you look at your, the new food pyramid, if you look at all of this right here
Yeah.
is carbs.
If I don't have carbs, I'm exhausted.
Well, and
I
one
love
thing too is I
carbs.
want you guys to think about your carbs. Most people think carbs are like, oh, I mean,
Like
they are your bread, your rice, your
Potatoes.
grains, your potatoes, and stuff like that. Potatoes aren't bad. What
Oh,
we
yeah.
put
A lot
on
of
potatoes
nutrition.
are
Yeah.
bad. I mean, your potatoes have almost as much potassium as a banana
Yeah.
does.
Mhm.
But
So it's-
is real butter okay?
In moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's moderation?
Well, like 1 tablespoon or something.
That's what I read.
Yeah,
Use a
and so,
tablespoon a
but
day.
one thing
Yeah.
too is, because people, I mean, they always are carbs, carbs, carbs. You can get all of your daily carb intake by eating fruits and vegetables. You don't have to eat a noodle, you don't have to eat rice, you don't have to eat potatoes. You can get all those carbohydrates, plus you're getting fiber. And especially as women, we need to be getting at least 25 grams of fiber a day.
I don't think I
And
do that.
a lot of us are not. And so when you're looking at your nutrition, most of the time, if we looked at and we had you guys do your daily journal of your food or whatever, probably 100% of you guys are not eating enough.
Mhm.
And so, and that's going to, you know, and it's a lot of people, I mean, they're like, you want me to eat 1,600 calories? I'm gonna gain weight. And I was like, not if you're eating the right foods. Especially protein, especially for all of us. They changed. I'm really hoping that they're gonna change like the nutrition books, because in the, oh, you went to see that?
I did, yes.
In the
I see
nutrition
that.
books and stuff,
I don't understand why they
education,
think
it's
that's confusing.
0.8 grams
Eating
per
on meat.
I do.
kilogram of body weight is what you needed in protein. That is like to like stay alive. Now they changed, I had to write it down. 'Cause it's-
And more fruit.
now the new food pyramid protein is 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. So they increased it a whole lot on protein. You should be eating protein with every meal.
Ugh, I don't do that.
And that can be, your protein can be, it can be chicken, it can be turkey, it can be beef, it can be
Interesting.
cottage cheese, it could be eggs, it could be fish, it could be Greek
So these are
yogurt.
things
You
that
can
we should
get that
know.
protein in tons of different ways.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be chicken, because some people are like, I'm so tired of chicken.
Yeah, I don't like chicken.
Well, quit eating chicken, you
Yeah.
don't have to, there's so many other things. Vegetables, they bumped it up to 3 servings per day. Fruit, 2 servings today, a day. Whole grain, 2 to 4 servings per day, but not refined. So we don't want the white bread. If anybody's eating cereal, ready to eat cereal, chomp that out. It's just sugar, okay? It's horrible. I can't even remember the last time I bought cereal.
Plus, it's full of
Cereal.
What?
So it's all fun and games till we get to the cereal.
Yeah, so someone touches my cereal. Yeah. Flour tortillas, crackers, all of those are refined. So those are not
Oh
gonna
my
be.
goodness.
Yeah.
I love saltine.
Yes.
That's why I put the candy on the table, because I thought maybe if I could share it.
Ritz
I eat crackers
too.
every day.
I do too, with butter.
Oh,
butter?
Okay.
Doesn't butter count as protein?
But I
No,
don't
it's
probably
not.
have more
No.
than 4
And one thing too, I want you guys to think.
Cheese is protein.
No.
Cheese and
Ooh,
crackers.
No, cheese is not protein.
It's
cheese
not?
is more fat.
Is it?
Yes. So one thing is, I want you guys. I wish I brought a nutrition fact.
See, I
sheet.
told you I
good.
like crap.
But one thing too.
The Atkins diet is based on cheese
I
and
eat
But one
pizza and
thing
cheese
too,
sticks and all kinds of crap.
because you brought up the Atkins diet, and now it's the keto diet just wrapped in a
Yes,
bow and all
yes.
those things. You have to look at the one thing they told you to take out is carbohydrates. You have to have carbohydrates. Your brain functions on carbohydrates. Your brain needs 130 grams of carbohydrates a day
Right.
to function.
Take a
Okay?
teaspoon of honey every night.
Like a recap? Because I don't feel like I'm gaining it all.
So you have
How
to
many
eat
grams a day of carbohydrate?
130. Okay? Your brain does.
How do you measure all this?
Take a teaspoon
You
of
have to-
honey at night.
Write it down.
You have to, you know, you can figure it out, you can track it and stuff.
Yeah, and that's, it's really good to track it.
Yeah, you should be, I mean, it's good so you can, and that's why I said, if, most of the time people are like, I eat, you know, really, really well. And that's what I love is when, cause my nutrition students, they have to keep a 5-day diary the first week of school. And I tell them, I said that most of them will probably get 500 calories a day. Most of those, if they go over, say some people will go 1,200, but then we start taking away their Dutch Brothers coffees, their Red Bulls, all that stuff. Now we're down to like 600 calories. Then we look at those 600 calories. They're going to, you know, Chick-fil-A, or they're going to, you know, whatever the other chicken place is, and just getting chicken fingers and bread. So now we have to look at what we're doing, what they're getting. So now they're getting tons of saturated fat. They're getting a little bit of protein, but a lot of it's saturated fat because everything is fried or everything's
Right.
yellow.
Right.
I will say probably like last semester, with the total of like my 120 students, probably 2 of them had a vegetable.
Yeah, if I told you guys what I eat in a week, you guys would.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And so I always tell people their diets, that they sign up for Weight Watchers and all that. I said, that's nice while you're attending this program. The foods, to me, I think is processed. We shouldn't be eating processed food. It's not
No.
really good for you. Also, you're trying to lose weight quickly, and that's, I didn't gain this weight overnight. and
Right.
I shouldn't
Yeah.
expect to
Yeah.
lose it overnight.
And that's
So-
where a lot of people get in trouble is because
Yeah.
they want quick fixes.
Yes.
And it's
Yep.
not gonna be quick fix. Everybody wants to do Ozempic or Wegovy.
Yep.
And I've had patients on that, and one thing we have to really focus on that is strength training.
Mhm.
Because, and we have to think about, still have to change your mindset,
Mhm.
because once you, and like I was gonna say with the Atkins diet, you can't do that forever, because
No.
someone's gonna say, let's go to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're gonna be tempted, you can have their salmon, that's all you can eat.
It's like moderation.
Yeah,
broccoli.
and so
Yeah.
everything
Yep.
is, we wanna really, and I will say, I too, I mean, I don't want you to eat processed foods, but that's not realistic. So when we look at moderation, maybe you have cereal once a week, or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Do you need cereal every day? No, because all you're getting is sugar. And I always say, look at your milk, because if your milk changes color, it's sugar.
Right.
And so get rid of your sugar, all of your added sugars and stuff. I'm not saying your fruits, because your fruits are natural sugars. The one thing your fruits have is fiber, and that's what we need as well. And so that's why,
And aren't some fruits better than other fruits?
yeah, I mean, grapes are gonna be higher in sugar.
Those are the ones I like.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Yeah.
you can still have grapes. You just
Right.
don't eat them like all day,
And
every
grapes have
day.
water in them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, a lot of your fruits have water. A lot of your food, period. A lean pork chop is like 60% water. And so all of your food has water in it and stuff. But you have to, I mean, you have to do things in moderation. And that's why I say cook your food, because you know what's being added to it. You know what you're doing. You can measure your portions as well.
I don't drink just regular milk. I drink like the almond milk that
Mhm.
doesn't have sugar.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that you can get that's unsweetened.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the fruits, it's raspberries, strawberries, blueberries.
Yeah, berries are
Less
the best.
sugar, and then I take my almond milk with those there and like an avocado and spinach, and I'll make a smoothie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Well,
this
and
is
one
where I get frustrated. It's like, how do you have time to do all this? And like, think about it when you're on the go.
Well,
Yeah.
it's something that you have to create your routine.
Plan.
So when you're doing your smoothie, that's gonna be your breakfast, or that's gonna be your snack. You already have everything planned out, and you kind of know what you're gonna do. I will say on almond milk, it depends on on your proteins and stuff. There are, you have to, and I will say on a lot of things where they say we're gonna go vegan, or, cause some people are like, I'll do the natural vegan patty or whatever. If you look at that patty of all the chemicals and
Yeah.
fake stuff are in it, just eat the
It's
meat.
kind of like the gluten-free, like unless
Yes.
you're have the disease.
Yeah, you really don't.
The gluten-free has actually,
It doesn't. It shouldn't
Yeah.
bother you.
Yeah.
And that's something with the almond milk. There are lawsuits out on a lot of the almond milks, because if you look at it, you know, if you milk an almond, you know how many almonds you have to make almond milk? A lot. And so they're saying now, like if you look at the almond milk, there's only like a total of 3 or 4 almonds, and the rest is chemicals and water. So, and one thing,
Yeah, don't get me started on chemicals.
well, the only thing that you're saving on almond milk is calories. So if you're trying to get your protein in, maybe you do a skim milk, or you know, 2% or whatever. And I just laugh because every time we talk about milk, I talk about our trip that we went. We always go to the grocery store, and you know, and Ron lets the kids pick out any kind of cereal they want. So, you know, Sutton was like, "Can I get Cookie Crisp?" I was like, "This time because you're on vacation."
Yeah.
And so he gets up one morning and he's eating. We're making his cereal, and he gets the milk and he's eating, and he goes, "Mom," he's like, "something's wrong with the milk." And I was like, "Is it bad?" And I went and smelled it and stuff, and he was like, "It's weird." Well, Ron buys whole milk.
Oh,
We buy skim milk.
I buy 2%.
So it was like, he was used to like water, like just water. And then going to whole milk, he was like, "What is this taste?"
Yeah,
You know,
it's like a
that's-
whole other food.
Yeah, it has a whole different flavor. But if you do the skim or 1%, 2%, whatever, you're getting the protein that, you know, you're still getting probably more calories, but you're getting the protein too, so.
I suppose
I
the
use an
almond
exercise
there's Houston, who I used to
I'm
live with,
77,
and there, he does a lot of herbals and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
but I
And he's
use
done
it
research, he
30
says
minutes a
that
day.
what he told the congregation is that milk can cause inflammation.
It goes for
All dairy causes inflammation.
Oh, some people don't do well with dairy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one thing too, on the program that I coach too, one of the things that we do is we don't do dairy, we don't do gluten. But that's where, I mean, if it doesn't bother you, and especially if you're working out, drinking your water, and eating the right dairy, it shouldn't be that inflammatory and stuff. Because I just do like the Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. I don't drink, I mean, we never have milk in our refrigerator, ever.
Yeah, see, I don't do a lot of dairy because I have Hashimoto's, and the dairy just, I don't know,
Yeah.
too much is not a
Yeah.
good thing for me personally.
Yeah, and that's what it's for everybody, because
Yeah.
like you said, some people don't have a reaction to gluten,
Yeah.
some people do.
I can eat all the carbs in the world, and for some reason my body likes them.
Well, you're
Well,
young.
No, I'm about to be 50.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's
No,
not
it
old,
is,
but
yeah. Well, what it is, you know, it's
50
and it's
is
what your
young.
body
it is. I
yeah.
don't think that 50's old, but I mean, I'm not like
Yeah.
young.
Yeah,
Jill, how old is your mom?
she is 83.
And she's in every bit as good a shape as you are.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
So
It's
Yeah.
because she keeps her.
yeah,
And she's strong.
She focuses on her nutrition because we have her set up with, you know, her calories and stuff of what she's supposed to eat, or macros. We don't count calories. And then she street trains and works out every day.
She's street
She street trains. Don't mess with my mom.
No, but your dad was like you grew up
Yeah.
with very good
Yeah,
influences.
yes.
Right,
So
Exactly.
that's awesome.
And that's one thing I tell everybody, you know, and I teach a lot of 17, 16-year-olds that have no, I mean, I'm like, you guys, you're going to be where I'm at before you know it.
Yeah.
But I also tell them it's a learned behavior. Exercise, nutrition, it's a learned behavior. I mean, I don't want to say, but that's what I grew up with. I mean, we played sports. We didn't have an option. That's what
yeah,
we
you
did.
were told to do
We
it.
were
yeah.
told to do it. It became part of our life. And then when I went off to college, it was like I had to, I mean, I didn't have to do it, but I loved doing it. Maybe not as much as I do now, but now it's a lifestyle for me. And you have to make your exercise, your nutrition a lifestyle. It has to be a part of who you are. It doesn't have to be a huge part. For me, it is a huge part, but I mean, and my kids, I mean, one of the things I'm proud of is that I was really told, I mean, because Caden's my oldest, and I was really shocked because I had to make him like do stuff when he was little, and now he's the one that like, Mom, I'm going to the gym. I need you to write me a program or whatever. And he loves, I mean, he goes to the gym every day. Emerson, she's getting back into I mean, you know, she's been so busy, and
But she looks great. I
Yeah.
mean, she's always been active.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then Sutton, you know, he goes to the gym when he can and stuff like that. So it's a learned behavior, and you know, it's kind of like we say, you know, you bring your kids to church, they may kind of wither away, but they always will come back. They have that foundation. And I feel like that was kind of Caden at first. He kind of, you know, on exercise and stuff, and then, but he realized at, you know, I mean, he's just 30, but he realized, I gotta eat right, I gotta move, or I'm gonna be, you know, and he came back to the light. And exercise and stuff. So you have to think about too, there's somebody watching you, whether you have grandkids or whatever, they're gonna see you. And a lot of people will say, but I have daughters and I don't want them to think that I'm restricting. And you eating, you know, from the food pyramid, you eating your protein, you enjoying your food, eating healthy, those are choices. You're not restricting. You could have a Snicker if you wanted a Snicker. Hopefully that you don't want a Snicker, but maybe you want berries, and you know
And these are
that'll
the perfect
take the
size.
place. But we're learning those behaviors, and we want them to learn those behaviors and stuff. So.
And one thing that worked for me when I was starting back out is try to find something you